Okay, so it's been a while since I did my review on Superbook Season 1, which I still recommend. And my first review I've ever done was on Kappa Mikey, which is still a good show as well. But this time, we're reviewing a movie. A movie I watched as a kid and is still one of my favorite films today. And I am talking about Space Jam. Now, since Space Jam A New Legacy came out today, and I've still got to review it, so by the time this video is out, it's the next day. Hey, I'm still going to review A New Legacy soon, I promise. Yes, but I thought I'd review the original Space Jam since I recently rewatched it on HBO Max after I watched A New Legacy. And let me tell you, this is still one of my favorite movies of all time. But enough of my rambling, let's check out Space Jam, the original movie. Space Jam was a movie that came out in the 1990s, starring Michael Jordan and, of course, the main Looney Tune, Bugs Bunny. The movie follows Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny after it's actually Bugs who does it, after Bugs challenges these little alien guys to a basketball game, and only for these little alien guys to steal the basketball talents of NBA players from the 90s. The movie starts off with us being introduced to young Michael Jordan and then seeing his whole basketball career as they're playing the actual song for Space Jam, which is actually kind of catchy. We then cut to adult Michael Jordan, who actually says he's retiring from the NBA to play for the MLB. Only for us to cut to Toon World, where we meet Bugs Bunny, who's being chased by Elmer Fudd, like usual. Then next thing you know, these alien guys I was talking about earlier land on top of Elmer Fudd. And Bugs does his classic trick saying he never heard of Bugs Bunny, only for it to turn against him, and everything goes down. And then here later on, we're introduced to the main villains of this movie, the Monstars, which are actually the little alien guys who basically turn to these basketball playing monsters after stealing the abilities of NBA players. And let me tell you, these guys, these guys kind of gave me nightmares as a kid. Even though I still love this movie as a kid and I still like it today, I still highly recommend it. Great movie. And after the Toons realized that they kind of made a mistake challenging them to a basketball game, not thinking that they would steal the abilities of a professional basketball player, or players in this case, these Bugs and the others rely on none other than Michael Jordan, a absolute basketball legend who remains my favorite basketball player to this day, even though he's retired. And there's quite a few funny scenes when it comes to them meeting Michael Jordan for the first time. Like that one scene where Bugs just literally yells in Michael's face that he needs their help. Well, they need his help, I should say. I said that wrong. What the heck? And during their basketball practice, we then cut to a new character named Lola Bunny, who actually is Bugs' girlfriend, which we find that out. Well, we don't really find that out. They kind of get together later in the movie. I guess you could say, but yeah. Well, I guess you could say they're kind of boyfriend and girlfriend, but yeah. And during basketball practice, when Lola explains she wanted to try out for the team, Bugs calls her doll, which she takes offensive, and she beats the living crap out of him in a one-on-one match. This scene still makes me laugh. Bugs does not go with talking to girls. And this guy wonders why he can't get a girlfriend. We then cut to this really funny scene, which actually has my favorite line in the movie, which I'll get to in a minute. Yeah. This is actually a scene where Michael actually explains how somebody needs to go back to his house and get his basketball gear. And of course, it's none other than Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, the dynamic duo. Of course, Daffy disagrees with Bugs when Bugs is actually right. He goes the wrong way and gets attacked by the dog. Yeah. And then right when Bugs gets to the house and Daffy knocks on the door, we get my favorite line in the entire movie, which is "Twinkle, twinkle, little stars." Pow. Yes, I had to say it because I was a little scared if I actually played the line. YouTube would hit me in the face with the copyright stick. Yeah, I'm looking at you, YouTube. Put the copyright stick down. And after this entire thing, we cut to some more basketball practice, and then the big basketball game between the Toon Squad, which is Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes, against the Monstars. And let me tell you, this is a pretty cool basketball game, even though it wasn't really a real game. It's cartoons, but still, this was still pretty epic. Oh, I thought my TV went off. I was like, what the hell? That's creepy as hell. And let me tell you, the game was all over the place. It's like it started with the Monstars winning, then the Toon Squad winning, then if it started with the Monstars winning again. And yeah, it was just back and forth like an actual NBA game gets sometimes. But of course, we had our classic funny Looney Tunes moments, like with, Daffy not being liked, which, how can people hate this guy? I grew up loving this guy. Daffy Duck is funny. And yeah, we still get a lot of really funny scenes like this. And then we get this one kind of romance scene, I guess you could say, between Bugs and Lola, where basically one of the Monstars is trying to squish her. Bugs pushes her out of the way. He gets squished again. Instead, I don't know why I said again. What the heck? And of course, they share a kiss, and the game gets back in. And the game gets back on, basically. But the scene before that is during their halftime, where Michael Jordan is trying to inspire the other tunes to continue, but they have no hope, so they're all sleeping. But Bugs actually sneaks some water into a jug and calls it Michael's secret stuff, which is just basically a bottle of water. He tells Michael to play along, which for a period of time he does, and later on he explains how it's just water, and yeah. Where we then cut to a crazy part after a little bit more of the basketball game, which is where we think that they're going to lose, only for Michael Jordan to stretch his arm and score the final score to win the basketball game. And of course, before we say goodbye to the tunes for the movie, we see another kiss between Bugs and Lola, and then we cut to Michael Jordan being dropped off by the spaceship for a baseball game. And that's basically about it. So, my thoughts. Let's get into the positives first. This movie never gets old with its jokes, and all its gags as well. This movie was actually really, really funny still, and still the same from what I remember. I still really like it. And I like how they had Michael Jordan in this movie. My favorite basketball player, even though he's retired, he's still my favorite player in the NBA. Even though my favorite team is the Lakers. Sue me. But now, let's get into the negatives. I think they could have, well, I think they could have, like, one thing I think they could have done was, I think they could have added a scene where the coyote was chasing the Roadrunner during the game and stuff. That would have been kind of funny. And I think they could have gave some of the characters more screen time during the basketball game, like Yosemite Sam and a few others. But yeah. But apart from that, Space Jam is a very good movie, and I highly recommend it to anyone who is looking for a really funny movie for the entire family. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Brave Wolf Reviews. I'll see you guys next time.